There are no photos of this business, not on Instagram, not on LinkedIn, not in a case study, not in a business magazine with a glossy cover and a founder who looks like they were born for it. No launch day post, no milestone celebration, no viral moment where the algorithm decided this was the thing people needed to see. The business just ran quietly, consistently, in the specific unglamorous way that most real things run when nobody is watching. Last year, it generated $180,000. The person running it still drives the same car they drove when they started. They did not move. They did not change anything visible about their life. They just kept showing up to solve the same problem for the same kind of customer and let the math do the rest. This is that story. And if it makes you uncomfortable because it sounds too ordinary to be true, that discomfort is the point. The most profitable businesses in America right now do not look like businesses from the outside. They look like someone doing a job that nobody else wanted badly enough to treat like a business. That distinction is worth approximately $180,000 a year. Meet Ray. Ray does not have a logo. He has a phone number on the side of his truck in stick-on letters he bought at a hardware store for $11. The truck is 7 years old. The phone number still works. Ray owns a gutter cleaning and exterior maintenance operation. He services residential properties and small commercial buildings. He does not have a website. He has a Google business profile that took him 45 minutes to set up and has generated more business than any other thing he has ever done. Nobody at his family dinners fully understands what he does. When he tries to explain it, the conversation either goes flat or someone pivots to asking whether he has thought about getting into real estate. He has not thought about getting into real estate. He is too busy managing the operation that generated $180,000 last year from a business that most people in his neighborhood assume is something he does between real opportunities. Ray started with a ladder, a bucket, and a leaf blower. Total starting investment, $620. He did not take a course. He did not hire a coach. He did not spend 3 months building a brand before his first job. He drove to a street with older trees and knocked on doors until someone let him clean their gutters for $80. Then he did it so well that the neighbor 2 houses down called him before he had driven off the block. That was the business. That is still the business. The only thing that changed is the number of rooftops. How the math builds. Let me show you what gutter cleaning actually looks like when you run it, like a business instead of a side job. A standard residential gutter cleaning generates between $100 and $200 depending on the size of the home and the market. A 2-story home with significant tree coverage generates more. A small commercial building generates between $250 and $600 for a single visit. Ray charges $150 for a standard single-story clean, $190 for 2-story. He does not negotiate. He has not negotiated since his 4th month of operation because he learned something in his 4th month that most people who start service businesses never learn. When your work is good, people do not negotiate. They just book. Ray's route on a full working day includes 8 to 10 residential cleans. At his average ticket of $165, that is between $1,300 and $1,650 in a single day from equipment that fits in the bed of a truck. But the single day is not the business model. The business model is the twice yearly return. Gutters need cleaning in the fall and in the spring. Every property that Ray services in October calls him again in March. Not because he follows up, because the gutters fill up again whether he follows up or not. The problem never stops existing. Ray has 312 properties on his regular list. Not all of them use him twice a year. Most do. His average property generates approximately $340 annually across both cleanings. 312 properties at $340 each is just over $106,000 a year from returning customers alone. He does not find these customers again. They call, they text. Some of them have been calling the same number on the side of the truck for 4 years. The remaining $74,000 comes from new properties, add-on services, downspout clearing, exterior window washing, minor roof debris removal, and 3 small commercial buildings that pay him on quarterly contracts, $180,000, from gutters, from the most unglamorous vertical in the entire home services industry, from the business that absolutely nobody has ever asked to see a photo of. Ray did not build this through strategy. He built it through three things that most people underestimate because they do not sound like competitive advantages. The first thing is showing up on time. This sounds too simple to matter. It matters more than anything else in residential service businesses in America right now. The bar for showing up when you said you would show up is genuinely, embarrassingly low. Ray shows up within a 15-minute window every time. His customers notice. They mention it when they refer him. They mention the truck showed up exactly when he said it would. This is a remarkable thing. It is a remarkable thing because most operators in his market do not do it. The second thing is the follow-up text. After every job, Ray sends a 3-sentence text. Job is done. Here's what we found. See you in the spring. That is the whole text. It takes 20 seconds to send. It has generated more referrals than any other single action in his business because it makes the customer feel remembered and it plants the spring visit in their calendar before they have thought to book it. Most of his competitors do not send any follow-up. Some send an invoice. Ray sends something that feels like a relationship, and in American residential services, a relationship is the entire retention strategy. The third thing is the wait list. In his second year, Ray stopped being immediately available, not because he was arrogant, because he was genuinely at capacity, but instead of turning people away, he started a wait list and gave people an honest timeline, 3 weeks out, sometimes 4. What happened surprised him. 80% of people on the wait list stayed on it, because in American residential services, a provider who is busy enough to have a wait list is a provider who is worth waiting for. The wait list became its own form of social proof. Neighbors who saw the same truck on the same street multiple times called to ask how to get on it. The wait list did not cost Ray anything. It made his business look like something people wanted to be part of. $620. That is what Ray started with, a ladder, a bucket, and a leaf blower, none of which he bought new. The ladder came from a garage sale, $40. The bucket was already in his garage. The leaf blower was borrowed from his neighbor for the first 3 weeks until he bought a used one for $85. If you do not have $620 right now, the starting cost is lower than that. A gutter cleaning operation at its absolute minimum is a ladder and a bucket and the willingness to get on a roof. The ladder can be borrowed. The bucket costs $4. The business funds itself after the first day. Ray's first 3 jobs generated $340. He used $85 of it to buy the leaf blower. He kept the rest. He reinvested nothing after that because the equipment was already sufficient and the only thing that needed to grow was the root. The root grew because the work was good. The work was good because Ray paid attention. He paid attention because he owned the thing. And when you own the thing, you notice details that employees never notice because the details of the difference between a customer who calls back and a customer who tries someone else next fall. Ownership changes what you see. That changes the entire business model. Ray's life does not look different from the outside. Same house, same neighborhood, same truck with the stick-on phone number, same family dinners where someone asks if he has thought about getting into real estate. What looks different is invisible. He has no single point of failure. There is no employer whose restructuring email changes the trajectory of his year. There is no manager whose bad month becomes Ray's problem. There is no performance review that determines whether his family's financial life stays stable. The $180,000 does not buy a different life. It buys the removal of a specific kind of vulnerability, the kind that most Americans carry around so constantly they have stopped noticing it is there. Ray noticed it was gone on a Tuesday morning when his brother called to say he had been laid off, and Ray felt something he did not expect to feel. Not relief that it was not him, something quieter than that. The specific calm that comes from knowing that no single phone call can do to you what that phone call just did to someone you love. That is what the gutters paid for. Not the truck, not the house. That particular Tuesday morning calm and it costs $620 to start and 4 years of showing up on time to build. Somewhere in America right now, there are gutters that need cleaning, not because it is fall, not because of the season, because gutters fill up continuously in every neighborhood, on every street with trees, on every commercial property with a flat roof section. The problem does not pause. The problem does not negotiate with the economy. The problem existed before Ray started, and it will exist after he retires, and the only thing standing between that problem and the money it generates is a person willing to get on a roof without needing anyone to photograph it. Ray is not a millionaire yet. He will be. The math is not complicated. 312 properties compounding into more properties year over year from referrals alone will get him there without a single paid advertisement, without a single viral moment, without a single photo that anyone ever liked or shared or commented on. The business never needed any of that. It needed someone reliable, someone who shows up when they said they would, someone who sends a 3-sentence text after a job that makes a customer feel like they made the right choice. That is the whole business. And somewhere right now, there is a street with older trees and gutters that have not been touched since last fall. The person who shows up there first and does it well enough that the neighbor calls before they drive off, the block has already started. Everything after that is just not stopping. One question: of everything we went through today, the route, the follow-up text, the wait list, the twice yearly return, which one do you actually think you could implement first? Drop it in the comments. One word: route, text, waitlist, return, because the next video goes directly into the exact script for the first door knock, the exact pricing conversation, and the exact follow-up text that generates the spring booking before winter is over. If you want to build the thing nobody is photographing while everyone else is waiting for the right idea, subscribe to follow along. No hype, no brand, no perfect moment required, just the gutters, and the Tuesday morning calm that comes 4 years after you started. I will see you in the next one.